Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, I'm going to be talking about some of the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix mods that are now currently out there and currently available. So I took a little bit of time off from YouTube and everything. I got kind of sick and stuff like that, but it has given us enough time to see a lot of brand new mods coming to our way for the PC versions of Kingdom Hearts. Now, it has been no mystery that there has been a bunch of mods for Kingdom Hearts. It's been a thing for years, but it looks like there's been some new life breathed into the Kingdom Hearts modding community with them coming out on PC. There's over 190 something mods here on Nexus Mods for Kingdom Hearts 3 alone, and there's a couple here on Kingdom Hearts 2, so expect a Kingdom Hearts 3 mod video down the line, and I'm going to actually show you how to install some of these mods in another video. But I want to just go ahead and show you some of the mods out there right now that are available for Kingdom Hearts 2, seeing as how a lot of people are playing the games sort of in chronological order again, like I have been doing on my streams here recently, which I will be getting back into. But I want to just go ahead and show you some of the cool stuff that you can do with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix right now, and some of the stuff is honestly really nice. So a big shout out to any of the modders out there that have been doing this kind of stuff. It's honestly really cool to be seeing this kind of stuff out here. But here are some of the mods here on Nexus Mods. This is a pretty good place to download some of these mods and get you some new ways to play your games. Basically, if you're someone who's already played them a ton, this stuff is actually super nice to actually have. So let's go over the first one here, which is the unlocked frame rate behavior fix. So there has been basically a nice little fix here that somebody has gone and created. So it's a simple BPS patch that fixes an odd issue in Kingdom Hearts 2 HD 2.5 remix on PC, where they using the frame rate settings anything above 60 FPS, it seemingly would drop down to a random 60 FPS without any recollection of why it's doing that, but it randomly would cut down to 60 FPS. And I've seen some people in my comment section on some of my other Kingdom Hearts videos talking about this, where it randomly drops down. So you can try this mod out. It is safe to use, no viruses on it, so this might be a pretty quick way on how to fix some of those performance issues that we've been seeing with some of the stuff with the PC ports. There hasn't been a ton, but this is a pretty good one to help you sort of fix that kind of stuff whenever you're trying to play your game. If they see that FPS does drop, then potentially this is a good way for you to try and get some of those bugs and things out of your game. And this one here, which I think is kind of hilarious, is the ROXAS Skip. So in Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Mix or not, you have to do the tutorial with ROXAS in the beginning. Now, I personally love this. I think this is one of the best things about Kingdom Hearts 2. I know with some of the first times you play Kingdom Hearts, you're just like, I just want to be Sora, I just want to be Sora. But it really isn't until you realize how cool ROXAS is that you end up loving this part with ROXAS in the beginning. I personally love this, but if you want to skip ROXAS in the tutorial, you can skip him by downloading this mod, which is pretty, interesting. But you gotta have to worry about what it does, because you can also get the Champion's Belt and the medal by doing the tutorial with ROXAS, and you also get extra stuff. So let's just sort of go over what this does exactly. So this script allows you to selectively skip the ROXAS portion of Twilight Town, so effectively skipping the tutorial of the game. This is mainly for people who replay the game for the 50th time, kind of like what I was talking about. You don't want to have to hit things with a plastic bat or do all of the delivery stuff like that, do all of the basically helping out the town to get you some extra cash, which then in turn gives you some extra bonuses. But upon skipping this, you may select your level path, so the sword, shield, or staff. Just like before, you'll skip some cutscenes, you'll be dropped off at the front of the old mansion as Sora. So basically this is the quickest way to immediately get you to be Sora without having to do the whole ROXAS bit. So you'll be left with 0 money, 0 XP, and all the abilities that you should have gotten at the end of ROXAS' portion. So effectively, what this does is it skips all the ROXAS stuff, but you don't get any XP, you get no money, but you do get all of ROXAS' abilities, because as you play as ROXAS, you do gain some abilities just from playing his parts of the game. But you will not get the Champion's Belt or the medal, which is what you have to get during the tournaments. You get either or. He said he wasn't sure which one to give the players, so he would let us decide basically upon his comments. So if you really want to know which one to get, possibly maybe he could create a mod that would allow you to pick either or whenever you're doing the ROXAS Skip. I think personally that would be really cool to actually have. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Lua backend thing in a later version of the video, where I'm going to be talking about how to actually install some of these mods. This is basically the thing you have to have in order to actually do most of the mods for Kingdom Hearts 2, at least Final Mix anyway. It might be for some of the other stuff, but at least for that, I know that much for sure. And this one right here, which I think is the coolest one. So it's the Rage form for Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So Rage form technically is kind of like its own thing here, but not so much, seeing as how anti-form is basically what this is sort of going off of. So this is called Rage form, which, like I said, it's very similar to anti-form, but not quite exactly the same. So this mod adds a range form mechanic for Kingdom Hearts 3 and to Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix as well, with a few changes to it. So Sora can use Rage form, and he can use it in Kingdom Hearts 3 once per battle he's in a critical situation and is prompted into Rage form appears with a 25% chance. When inside Rage form, Sora can choose to risk charge to allow him to revert when he has less than 5% health, along with increasing his time in Rage form to 25% of his maximum HP. So this is basically like a get out of jail kind of free card thing. And the ability of Rage form is obtained upon the limit form in Twilight Town. So you actually get this fairly early on before you actually end up meeting ROXAS, which is when you would start to actually be able to have the anti-form sort of stuff going on, which then in turn also unlocks Final Form, I guess you could say. You get this a lot earlier, and it's a pretty cool form that you can have. It costs 5 AP, so Rage Overflow costs 5 AP to equip alongside Limit Form. So you'll have 2 base forms where you don't have to have any party members, and you could do this at pretty much any time. You don't need Sora, or you don't need Donald or Goofy. You need Sora, of course. You don't need Donald or Goofy to do this, but you'll have Limit Form while you're playing and this brand new Rage form. So technically, 3 forms could happen. You can go into Limit Form, which then could trigger Anti-Form, but also you can have Rage form alongside that, which could, I think, also trigger Anti-Form. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it actually says that, but there is some different stuff that you can have here, which is in Rage, a reaction command that transforms Sora into Rage form and only appears 25% chance on critical health. If Rage Overflow is equipped, has a 10% timer that can be dismissed within an enable cursor control keybind. If you use a controller, it's probably like triangle. If activated, it cannot appear again until the battle ends. So there's also something called a wrist change, a reaction command that replenishes Sora's Rage form gains by 20% of Sora's HP. So cannot cause a knockout, also reverts to appear. So you can sort of sacrifice 25% of Sora's HP to an turn on Rage form, which is pretty cool. Revert reaction command that brings you back. Yeah, we kind of get that bit, but this is pretty cool. It is a way to sort of always have, I guess you could say, like anti-form always happening with Rage form. I think there's a little picture there that shows it. It says Rage Overflow, so you can actually turn it on and have that. So you can be basically anti-form looking Sora at just about any time you want to. You could treat it like a normal, drive gauge form instead of having to just randomly get that just to happen out of nowhere. You can always have that sort of form be a thing that you always could do in Kingdom Hearts 2, which I think is super cool. Seeing as how it looks really dope. He looks like a shadow, which Sora sort of has that dark side about him, which gives him that shadow form. I've always wanted to just play as that form for a certain amount of time, and it looks like with this mod, you can actually do that and have anti or shadow form Sora be a thing that you can always just activate as a drive form. I'm not sure how it levels up, or if it's going to level up, or sort of how that's going to be going about, but here's the mod. It says, virus scan, it says it's safe to use, and you can have that. So Sora can have those abilities, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty nice to actually have. But that for the most part is it. The Rage form, you also have this, the skip, the frame rate fixes, and there's a thing here to actually get you this Lua backend, which is going to be for the mod. But there's also one more thing, and that's the soft reset. So the soft reset in 2 Final Mix also resets the RNG. Press the shoulder buttons, plus start to activate it functionally same as going to the title screen from same menu at the time of release. So basically, this allows you to pretty much just back out of the game at any point you want to. You can have a soft reset to take you back to the menu and then go back in. I don't know a ton of people that would actually kind of use this sort of thing. Maybe if you're a speedrunner or something like that and you find that you've had a bad run or something, you might actually want to do this. It's basically just a soft reset to bring you right back to the start screen. So for the most part, guys, this is kind of what we have, at least on this website. There's a couple others, and some of the older mods, of course, that you can download, but I know this community is pretty easy to get into and pretty easy to do this kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm going to have a future video talking about the Kingdom Hearts 3 mod, seeing as there's a ton more there, but I'm just just going to pick out some of the coolest ones that you could have there, and I'm going to have a video showing you how to exactly install these mods. I guess this video is sort of just to showcase what is out there, and if there's anybody who kind of knows how to download mods, maybe you're tech savvy, you can easily download this stuff just from getting onto the website basically. But I will have a future video helping those out that don't quite know how to do this kind of stuff. It's completely understandable, so I'll help you guys out with that in the future, and we'll go over the Kingdom Hearts 3 mods in a later video as well. So I'm glad to be back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've been sick. I went on vacation, got sick again. Beforehand I was sick as well, so I've been just sick like crazy, just trying to get better, but looks like I should be back in the swing of things, and I'll be streaming again here pretty shortly. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content. Click the bell to be notified when I have a new video come out and when I go live again. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.